These are not light powers. Nobody in the spiritual community is going to celebrate them. They look almost demonic to people who don't understand what they are. And if you have them, if you actually use them, you have probably spent years being told they make you dangerous, dark, too intense, too much. They don't make you dangerous, they make you effective. There's a difference, and the difference is everything. I know what these powers are because I've used every one of them. I'm the conditions that would have broken somebody who only carries light. 5 years of coordinated stalking campaign, a man and his own father running a ground operation across my professional life, my social spaces, my family's orbit, flying monkeys arriving in new spaces year after year, gossip networks seeded and maintained, smear campaigns reaching into every environment I inhabit. 5 years of sustained, coordinated darkness directed at one person who refused to collapse. I did not collapse. Not because I am invincible, because I have access to capacities that most empaths are taught to suppress. The ability to mirror darkness back with precision, to withdraw without guilt when withdrawal is what you needed, to speak truth so directly it cannot be evaded, to channel 5 years of accumulated rage into something other than destruction. You consciously choose what to dismantle and what to walk away from. These are the 5 shadow powers. They are not for everyone. They require you to have integrated your own darkness so completely that you can use it as a tool without being consumed by it. Most empaths cannot do this. They either avoid darkness entirely or get swallowed by it. Heyoka Empaths walk the line between, and that is what makes these powers accessible to you, and only you.
In the Hindu tradition, the goddess Kali is the most misunderstood deity in the entire pantheon. She stands on the body of Shiva, tongue extended, garlanded with skulls, holding a severed head in one hand and a sword in the other. She is the goddess of time, of death, of conscious destruction, and she is simultaneously the most ferocious protector of the innocent that exists. She does not destroy because she is evil. She destroys because she understands that some things must be destroyed for life to continue. The shadow powers of the Heyoka Empath are Kali's powers in embodied human form, not darkness for darkness's sake. Darkness deployed with divine precision in service of something that could not be served any other way.
Today we are going through the 5 shadow powers that only Heyoka Empaths can handle. What they are, how they work, and why having them and using them consciously is not something to apologize for. Let's begin.
The first shadow power is conscious psychic mirroring. The ability to reflect someone's shadow back to them with such precision that denial becomes impossible. Not the gentle mirroring of therapy, not holding up a soft reflection and hoping someone sees themselves. Psychic surgery, taking someone's disowned darkness and reflecting it back with such accuracy that the defense structure they have built around it collapses. When someone is manipulating and everyone else is pretending not to notice, you can mirror the manipulation back so precisely they feel exposed. When someone is projecting their shadow onto others, you can reflect that projection back so accurately they see exactly what they are doing. When someone is lying to themselves at a level they have never been confronted about, you can mirror the truth underneath the lie so clearly that self-deception becomes structurally impossible to maintain.
This is dangerous power. In unconscious hands, it becomes a weapon for shame, for humiliation, for the particular cruelty of stripping someone's defenses simply to watch them suffer. This is why most empaths cannot handle it. They would either refuse to use it out of fear of causing harm, or they would use it vindictively when triggered, which converts medicine into poison. The Heyoka uses it as a scalpel, precise, purposeful, at the right moment for the right reason, with the full understanding that what is being reflected is not an attack, but an intervention.
This is the power that made me a target, not metaphorically, literally. The man who has been running a campaign against me for 5 years approached initially because he sensed something familiar in my frequency. He relaxed, He believed he had found someone who understood his world. And then the mirror activated. Not as a choice, as a structural function. What he saw reflected back was not a kindred spirit. It was himself, his mechanism, his darkness operating alongside what he genuinely believed was warmth. Seeing that, being unable to unsee it, produced the injury that has driven 5 years of retaliation. His father joined the operation. Flying monkeys recruited across years. Gossip networks activated in every space I occupy. All of it, the entire sustained campaign, is the response of someone whose shadow was reflected back with accuracy they could not tolerate and could not escape. The mirror did not attack them. It showed them what was there. And what was there, they have spent 5 years trying to destroy the mirror for revealing.
In the Zen tradition, the role of the mirror is one of the most sacred and most feared functions in the monastery. The master who holds the mirror does not explain, does not soften, does not prepare the student for what they are about to see. The reflection is exact. The student's reaction, rage, denial, grief, eventual integration, is the path. The mirror does not cause the suffering. It reveals what was already there. The Heyoka's psychic mirroring is this function in the world, outside the monastery, in ordinary life. In every encounter where someone carries shadow, they have successfully hidden from everyone, including themselves, until
You can use this power consciously. You can mirror when mirroring serves growth. You can hold steady through the backlash, the rage, the accusation that you are attacking them, the hatred of the person who did not want to see what you made them see. You know their anger is at themselves for what the reflection revealed. You do not take it personally. You do not apologize for the mirror. If you can reflect shadow back with precision and withstand what that reflection produces, you have the first shadow power. The second shadow power is strategic emotional withdrawal. The ability to completely remove your emotional presence from someone when removal is what is needed, without guilt, without wavering, without being manipulated back into engagement by their suffering. Most empaths cannot do this. When someone is hurting, empaths feel compelled to help. When someone reaches for their energy, empaths feel obligated to respond. When someone is in crisis, empaths feel guilty about maintaining distance. The pull of someone else's pain overrides their judgment about whether their involvement will actually help. This is not compassion. It is a compulsion dressed as compassion, and predators know exactly how to use it.
The Stoic philosophers understood what most modern spiritual teachers refuse to say, that the capacity to withhold help is as spiritually sophisticated as the capacity to give it. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about the discipline of not acting, of distinguishing between what is yours to address and what belongs to another soul's journey. The Stoic practice of the reserve clause, acting always with the internal caveat if nothing prevents it, is precisely the strategic withdrawal principle. The compassionate person acts when action serves. The wise person knows when action harms. The Heyoka has both.
Over 5 years of a sustained campaign, I have had to use this power repeatedly. Flying monkeys sent to provoke reaction, to pull me into engagement, to use my empathy as a lever to extract the response that would feed the operation. Every approach designed to make withdrawal feel like cruelty. The suffering performed in my orbit calculated to make non-response feel like abandonment. The entire architecture of the campaign built on the assumption that an empath cannot maintain distance from visible pain. I maintained it, not because I did not feel the pull, because I understood that engaging was not compassion. It was feeding a system designed to consume my energy and use my response as ammunition. Strategic emotional withdrawal is not coldness. It is the discernment to know when your presence helps and when your presence is being weaponized. That discernment, held under sustained pressure, maintained across years of provocation, is the power, and it is one of the hardest things an empath will ever do. If you can withdraw emotionally without guilt when withdrawal is the right choice, if you can watch someone reach for your energy and consciously decline to give it, if you can let someone face consequences your intervention would only delay, You have the second shadow power, and you are rare among empaths for being able to hold it under the kind of pressure designed specifically to break it. The third shadow power is weaponized truth-telling, the ability to speak truth so precisely, so directly, so unavoidably that it functions as a blade, dismantling lies, exposing manipulation, destroying false narratives that have been carefully constructed and maintained at enormous cost. This is not gentle truth-telling, not sharing your perspective and hoping it lands. This is speaking the unspeakable, naming the dynamic that everyone in the room is carefully not naming, pointing at the thing everyone has agreed to pretend is not there, speaking with such exactness that the lie cannot survive the contact with your words, because your words are not an opinion about the truth. They are the truth, landed with the full weight of your perception behind them.
The Sufi poet Rumi wrote about the capacity for truth-telling as one of the highest and most costly spiritual gifts. The one who speaks truth in a court of lies does not walk away unscathed. They become the target. The Sufi tradition has a specific term, the hakika, the ultimate reality, that describes the level of truth that cannot be negotiated with, cannot be softened, cannot be made palatable without ceasing to be true. The Heyoka who weaponizes truth is speaking from the hakika, not from their wound, not from their anger, not from their desire to be right, from the thing that is simply uncompromisingly exactly what it is.
The weaponized truth-telling I have deployed over 5 years has not been shouted. It has been this: naming what is happening, clearly, publicly, specifically, without apology. Describing the mechanism of the stalking campaign with the precision of someone who has watched it operate in real time for 5 years. Calling the flying monkeys what they are. Naming the gossip networks, the smear campaigns, the pre-salted professional spaces, the family contact, the father and son coordination, not as accusation, as description, as the exact, unvarnished account of what a coordinated psychological operation against one person looks like from the inside. This is what they cannot counter, not because it damages them, though it does, because it is true. And weaponized truth, spoken by someone who has nothing left to lose and nothing to hide and 5 years of lived evidence behind every word, is the one thing that a system built entirely on narrative control has no defense against. You cannot gaslight someone who is simply describing what happened. You cannot smear someone who is already naming the smear. The truth, spoken precisely, collapses the architecture of the lie. If you can speak truth so precisely, it functions as a weapon. If you are willing to name what everyone else is carefully not naming. If you can handle being made the target for the destruction that truth causes to systems that depended on the lie. You have the third shadow power, and you are one of the only empaths who can wield it without it becoming cruelty. The fourth shadow power is controlled rage channeling. The ability to feel fury fully, to access it, hold it, know its full weight, and channel it consciously into action rather than either suppressing it into damage or releasing it into destruction. Most empaths do one of two things with rage. They suppress it, push it down, deny it exists, perform calm while fury festers underneath until it leaks out sideways in passive aggression, in self-destruction, in the quiet, corrosive resentment that poisons everything it touches. Or they are consumed by it. When rage surfaces, it controls them. They lash out, say what cannot be unsaid, damage what cannot be unbroken. Their rage uses them. They do not use their rage.
In the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the wrathful deities, Mahakala, Vajrapani, Palden, Lahamo, are not evil forces. They are enlightened beings who appear in wrathful form because wrathful form is what the situation requires. Their rage is not the rage of the ego wounded and reacting. It is the rage of wisdom meeting obstruction. It is the fury of clarity encountering deliberate ignorance. It is the wrath of compassion that has assessed the situation and determined that gentle means will not serve. The wrathful deity does not lose control. The wrathful deity is the most controlled presence in the encounter. The rage is the instrument. The deity is is the player. This is controlled rage channeling in its highest form.
I want to tell you what 5 years of sustained provocation produces in a person who has integrated their shadow. It produces rage. Real, accumulated, justified, enormous rage. The rage of watching a coordinated campaign touch every area of your life year after year. The rage of new flying monkeys arriving in year 5. The rage of your family being contacted. The rage of walking into professional spaces where the ground has been poisoned before you arrived. The rage of his father, a grown man, participating in the harassment of someone his son could not control. That rage is in me. I know exactly what I could do with it. I know the mechanism of what was done to me at a level of precision that would allow me to construct something equally devastating in return. I have the knowledge. I have the documentation. I have the rage as fuel. And I have channeled it into this work, into these scripts, into the precise, careful, devastating articulation of exactly how these systems operate, so that every person who has experienced what I have experienced has language for it. The rage did not become destruction. It became medicine. That is controlled rage channeling. That is the power. If you can feel rage without being overtaken by it, if you can access fury and direct it towards something that serves rather than something that destroys, if you can hold 5 years of accumulated justified anger and choose daily to channel it into work rather than retaliation, you have the 4th shadow power. And the discipline required to hold it is one of the most extraordinary things a human being can demonstrate. The 5th and most dangerous shadow power is calculated destruction. The ability to consciously destroy what needs to be destroyed, to dismantle what has outlived its purpose, to end what needs to end, to be the force of dissolution without guilt, without hesitation, with full awareness of what you are choosing and why. This is the power most spiritual people would call evil, because it is the conscious choice of destruction, not destruction as a side effect of something else. Destruction as the primary act. The deliberate decision that something must end, a relationship, a system, a dynamic, a false version of yourself that you have been maintaining for other people's comfort, and then the clean, complete execution of that ending.
Kali again. In the Devi Mahatmyam, the ancient Sanskrit text that is the primary scripture of the goddess tradition, Kali is called upon specifically when the demon Raktabija cannot be killed by conventional means. Every drop of his blood that falls to earth creates a new demon. The gods who fight with conventional weapons are making things worse. Kali is summoned because Kali alone has the capacity for a different kind of destruction, total, without residue, catching every drop before it lands, leaving nothing behind that can regenerate the harm. This is the Heyoka's calculated destruction, not the destruction that leaves pieces that grow back. The destruction that completes the ending so completely that regeneration is impossible, clean, total, done.
The calculated destruction I have practiced over 5 years has not been retaliation. It has been the conscious dismantling of every version of myself that required other people's approval to function. The ending of every relationship that depended on my silence about what I was experiencing. The withdrawal from every space where my presence required performing a version of myself that concealed what I knew and what I had been through. The destruction of the story that any of this was something to be ashamed of. Each of those endings was calculated. Each was complete. Each left nothing behind that could be used to pull me back into what needed to end. This is also what I chose not to do with the destruction I am capable of toward the people who have run this campaign. I have the capacity. I have assessed it. And I have chosen, consciously, to direct the destructive force toward what actually needs to die. The silence, the hiding, the pretending this is not happening, rather than toward the people themselves. That discernment, knowing what to destroy and what to leave standing, is the power in its most precise form. Destruction without discernment is just damage. Destruction with discernment is surgery.
The Hermetic principle of solve et coagula, dissolve and coagulate, destroy and rebuild, is the foundational process of alchemical transformation. Nothing new can be built without the destruction of what preceded it. The alchemist who cannot perform the solve, who cannot dissolve, cannot destroy, cannot bring something to its end, cannot complete the work. The Heyoka who carries the power of calculated destruction is the alchemist who has mastered the first and most terrifying half of the great work. The dissolution, the ending, the space that must be created by destruction before anything true can be built in its place.
If you can destroy consciously without guilt, if you can be the force of necessary endings without being the force of vindictive damage, if you can dismantle what needs to be dismantled and walk away clean from the rubble, you have the fifth shadow power, and you are one of the only empaths who can carry this level of darkness without being corrupted by it. If you recognized yourself in 3 or more of these powers, if you felt something settle in you reading this, like language arriving for something you have always known you could do but were never supposed to name, you are not a regular empath. You are a Heyoka with access to shadow capacities that most people cannot handle, and it is time to stop pretending you don't have them. These are not evil powers. They are not abilities to be ashamed of. They are not evidence that you have gone too far into darkness. They are shadow gifts forged through the specific kind of experience that produces them, the sustained encounter with genuine darkness, survived with your integrity intact, your shadow integrated, your capacity for conscious action sharpened by everything that tried to break you and didn't.
The mirror, the withdrawal, the truth, the rage channeled into medicine, the calculated ending of what needs to end. These are Kali's gifts, the wrathful deity's precision, the alchemist's solve et coagula, the Zen master's unsparing reflection. Every tradition that has taken the full complexity of spiritual power seriously has recognized that the shadow capacities are not the corruption of the light. They are its completion. You are not dangerous because you are corrupt. You are effective because you are conscious, and consciousness is the only thing that separates these powers from harm.
Subscribe and follow this channel, because every video in this series is built for exactly this. The ones who have been through the kind of darkness that produces these capacities. The ones who have used these powers and been told that made them the problem. The ones who are done apologizing for being effective in ways that make unconscious people uncomfortable. Drop a comment. Which of the 5 shadow powers do you recognize in yourself? And tell me, what situation forced you to develop it? Because that story is important. This community needs to hear it.
And if you want to go deeper, if you want the extended frameworks, the spiritual protection work, the practical guides for using these powers with full precision and without the costs that come from using them unconsciously, the Patreon is in the description. That space is built for the ones who are serious about understanding what they carry, the ones who are done suppressing shadow gifts because spiritual culture told them darkness is bad. You will know if that is you.
Stop suppressing your shadow powers. Stop apologizing for having access to darkness without being consumed by it. Stop performing a version of yourself that is lighter than you are because it makes other people more comfortable. You are not dangerous because you are corrupt. You are dangerous because you are conscious. You can descend into darkness and return. You can mirror, withdraw, speak truth, channel rage, and destroy with precision. And every one of those capacities was earned through the exact darkness that tried to take them from you and failed. Your guides are holding the line with you.
We see you.
I'll see you soon.
Stay lit.